Hey folks, welcome to Nova Scotia Yakfisher Outdoors. I'm Gary. Over my shoulder here is Snowball, and we're here today. I thought I'd share some of my favorite things from this year, in hopes to maybe if you're looking for some last minute Christmas ideas, uh, maybe this would help you out finding that special gift for the bushcrafter, the camper, the hiker, the hunter, the fisherman in your life. So I got 12 things I want to share with you. Just about all of them can be we got off Amazon. A lot of them you can get off AliExpress and that as well. But without further ado, we're gonna get right into it. So my first thing is called a Fossils Solo Pack, and what they are is folding dishes. Now normally you can have your pick of one of two colors. I got two sets mixed together here. One for my wife, one for me. I'm not sure where everything is at the moment, but basically they're very packable because they pack flat. This is the plate. You also have a soup bowl, if I can do it right. Let's might be been a while since I've used that. There's your soup bowl, and even a cup. Now, I do use the plate probably more so than the other two. I do carry the cup with me. Has a couple little black marks just on the inside or outside. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. That's just for measuring water for one of my other items that will come up to shortly. But you can find, I think you can buy them individually on Amazon, and you can buy the solo packs, which is like one of each. Can't recommend them enough. I've used them right from the beginning of the year, just about every trip. It's Fossils is the brand name, and great little Christmas gift for somebody. So number two, let's see, number two. These come in several different names, but this happens to be Idaho Spuds, hash brown potatoes. Great thing. I buy a package a year. I think they come in an 8-pack or a 12-pack. I think there's 7 servings in one of these little containers. I generally will split them up into about 3 meals for me. Well, no, more like 4. I use them to go along with breakfast. I'd use it as a side dish for suppers and stuff. I just put them off into a baggie and boiling water to cover, let them rehydrate, and then fry them up in a nice little frying pan. Really easy way of adding some delicious sides to your backpacking meal or your camp meal. I've had it with fish this year. I've had it with my bacon and eggs in the morning. I mean, it's potatoes. It goes with just about everything. And these really do work well. Nice and light. I mean, you throw away the carton, put your serving size, whatever suits your fancy, in a nice Ziploc bag, and away you go. So that was number 2. Number 3. Hoosier Hill Farms egg granules, whole egg granules. Now I've heard a lot and I've tested it myself. Egg powder and stuff. It just tastes like crap. And I read reviews on these Hoosier Hill products, and they're egg crystals essentially, not powder, and how you can't tell the difference. Well, I'm a believer. That's what the marks are for on my little bowl, Fossils bowl. I know I measure out the amount of eggs I want, and I know when I put it in that, fill it up, the water up, that will be the perfect size for me. But if I were to fry scrambled eggs up for you using this stuff, you would not be able to tell the difference. It doesn't taste grainy or anything. It's just perfect. So rather than carrying eggs with you, which I sometimes do, especially where I have my own chickens and I don't necessarily refrigerate the eggs. This makes for a really great alternative, especially for those multi-day trips and cutting down on weight and stuff. You can still have some eggs. So number 4, you got to fry up your hash browns or your scrambled eggs with a frying pan. And this is the GSI Bugaboo. I think this is the 8-inch model. It's not recommended to cook on the fire, but if you're careful, I've cooked on the fire many times. I've done fish, I've done my eggs, bacon. It's been in quite a few of my videos. It's held up well. It's done its first season now. Extremely happy with it. I do cook on the fire quite a bit, even though it's not recommended. I don't cook on the open flame. I try to cook on over the top of charcoal or your coals and stuff, and I usually carry a little pack grill, but still, after 1 year of use and over 20 nights in the woods, this one doesn't even have a scratch on it, so I'm pretty happy with that. For number 4. Number 5, let's see here. I know that little devil is in here somewhere. Number 5 is a new product for me. Well, sort of. It's made by Uberleben. You can get it off Amazon. It's basically like a forever match almost. It's essentially a jute twine or a wax impregnate twine that you can spark up. You fluff up the end, spark it up with your fire rod, and it's wind resistant. Works really well for lighting fires, and then you just extinguish it by pulling your little metal tube over the top of the part that's on fire. Works really well. I've been using them all along, but I have a little homemade one here. The Uberleben works even better, although I've been happy with the one that I made myself. That one really takes a spark way better. So that would be number 5, I believe. Number 6. Who doesn't want titanium pots? You see, most people are moving to titanium, reduce the weight. I mean, some people say don't use them over the fire. This one's cleaned up, but both of them have been used over the fire extensively. There's lots of brands that are a little more economical on Amazon. This one's a Luxada, this one's a Tomjou. I also have another Tomjou one for my coffee cup, and it's in the cozy right now, but a 1600 milliliter one for when my partner and I are out on a trip and I'm doing meals for 2. Sturdy. I have had 0 issues with them. Lightweight. I usually carry the ones that I cook with in a cozy that I make myself. Awesome product. Alright, let's see. Our next one. This is especially if you're just getting into the bushcraft or camping or all that good stuff, but Light My Fire fire knives. Economical knife. They're basically a Mora knife. They come super sharp, and they come with a fire steel in the handle. This one I got from my 14-year-old daughter last Christmas. She loves it. Uses it at her guide camps. She added a piece of paracord. She mostly uses it as a neck knife. She's very happy with it. I'm very happy with it. Makes a great gift. A good addition to just about any outdoorswoman's kit. Alright. Next, you gotta have a water filter. Especially, I don't use them so much during the winter, but During the summer I use them extensively. Here's my favorite. It's called a Canadine Be Free. One of the simplest filters to clean. You just basically give it a little shake off and clean water here and there. But has one of the highest flow rates. They're a little on the pricey side, probably in the $50 range. But you basically just scoop out the water out of the stream, put the top back on, start drinking. Particularly in the kayak, this is a great item. Just switched to them this year and I'm extremely happy with them. If that's a little pricey, a lot of people go with the Solar Minis, and I do have them. I actually use one in a gravity feed, 4-liter water for when I'm at a base camp, but you can't go wrong with the Solar Minis. You don't get the flow rate that you do with the Canadine, but it's basically a fail-safe product. You don't want to be caught without a filter unless you plan on boiling water steady when you're out in the woods. Alright. Next up, sleeping pads. Here's my favorite sleeping pad. I use it year round, but it's an insulated static V by Climate. You can see the V grooves in it. Particularly in the winter, this is handy because my down sleeping bags will go down into the V's, and you maintain some of that insulated properties of your down. I think the R value of this particular one is 4.4, but I've not got cold sleeping on the ground with it at any time of year, and it's been a great item for me. So right on that lines, down's all the rage, and rightfully so, but it can be extremely expensive. But I carry the One Tigris Arctic Defender, rated to negative 15 degrees Celsius. I actually have 2 of these bags. One of my daughters uses one for her winter camping. I use mine in the spring, late fall, and the winter. I have not got cold. It probably costs half as much as a lot of other down bags that have a similar rating, but this one hasn't failed me. I've used it for a year and a half now. Extremely happy with it. One Tigris makes a great product for outdoorsmen. Okay, let's see. Wind down. Now, if you're going to be backpacking and going on multi-day trips and stuff, the freeze-dried meals and stuff that you can get at some of the outdoor specialty stores and stuff will run you a small fortune, especially if you're going for like a week. It's a dehydrator. My Nesco dehydrator is in the other room. I'll give you or get a picture or 2 of that in a minute. But it's busy making me some deer jerky. But you can, if you already have a dehydrator, you can buy extra columns. You can make fruit leather. So you got stuff to put fruit leather on, smaller stuff. You can do your vegetables, but mostly for me, outside of jerky, is the making of meals. I make 5 or 6 meals so that I can have variety in the backcountry. Saves a ton of money. It might cost you like $100 to get started. Well, that's only 10 meals. You can make that back pretty quick. And it gives you something to do in the off season to get ready, because they'll last for nearly a year. I do most of my meals up and then put them in the freezer once I dehydrate them until I'm ready to go. Some people vacuum seal them as well, which will extend the lifespan. But hey, get yourself a dehydrator, or get your loved one who's into backpacking a dehydrator. Learn how to make your own meals. You'll save a bunch of money and you'll have fun doing it. So, alright. So this is my dehydrator. It's leaking a little fluids now, but and it's making me some deer jerky. The top one doesn't have as much on it, but thought I'd show you that. Just believe me, the smell in here is worth $1,000,000. Alright, so for the last one, I think we're up to 12. All the other products you can get on Amazon, and I purchase on Amazon. Can't recommend them enough. I love them. But if you're into bushcraft and all that sort of thing, chances are there's other bushcrafters, other campers, hikers that are in your area, and there's a pretty good chance that there's a local craftsman or craftswoman that makes stuff that you'd enjoy as well. And I got to tell you this, it's made by the Crafted Woodsman in Moncton, New Brunswick. I think it has a little signal on it here somewhere. It's basically a seat that has Reflectex in the middle of it. I absolutely love it. I take it all the time now. I use it during deer hunting. I use it to kneel down in the snow while I'm setting snares at times. Or if I just want to take a break, I used it the other day to sit on while I had my coffee and deer steak over the fire. Handy item. They make all kinds of stuff of interest. This just happens to be one of my favorites. So if the Crafted Woodsman isn't near you, find a local craftsperson, leather worker. They're probably going to be able to make something, or already make something that would your friend or loved one who's into the outdoors would enjoy taking with them on trips. So I guess that's everything. Just a few of my favorite things that might help somebody out if they're looking for some last minute Christmas ideas for their loved one who's in the outdoors. I can't get the snap back on that right now, but anyway, hope you found something of interest there. If you have any questions, please drop me a line. And if not, we'll see you soon with another video. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. I'm going to get that sooner or later. Here we go.